Hey there, my name is Carrow Brown. I am an urban fantasy author and a tarot card enthusiast, and I'm here today to actually do a monthly prediction reading for Authortube, which is a community here on YouTube of individuals who like to pursue writing endeavors. And what I have been kind of doing for the last couple months is I basically just do an overall reading for the community. It started off as a funny tee-hee video that I did last January, and then I've just kind of wanted to dive into the months a little bit more. So this reading will be for December, and I will say that before I pull the cards, I have a pretty good feeling. I'm optimistic. That's the word I want to use. I am very optimistic about December and how that's going to go overall. I know a lot of us are kind of resting after Nano, and we're all very tired and all that goodness, so I think that will be a pretty big thing that we might see in the reading, but I don't know. I've just been shuffling the cards for a little bit, so that way we can get them set to go. Get in there. Some of them have tried to jump out a few times, so this deck is definitely ready to share some insights. So, Authortube reading for December 2020. Alright, so first card is the Queen of Cups. Second card is the Three of Cups. Merrymaking. Good, good. There's a lot of cups. Holy cow. Eight of Cups, Eight of Wands, Five of Swords. That is a lot of cups. Holy cow. Hermit. That makes sense. Empress reverse. Okay, I need an adult. And Seven of Swords. Awesome. Okay, so give me 1 second to kind of eyeball what I'm looking at right now, and then I will get right back to you. Oh, wait, hold on. So, hold on. Let me pull this one card, which is the hidden card at the bottom of the deck, and I will reveal that when we're done. Okay, so we have an interesting reading here. A little hard for me to fully decipher. If you have a different interpretation, feel free to leave your comments in the description below. I'm getting mixed signals here a lot. So the first thing that we need to talk about is this current sense of self, which is the reverse Queen of Cups. Now, here's the thing. I don't like inverted queens in general because they're usually some kind of abuse, whether it be mental, physical, emotional, and this queen is definitely emotional abuse. But when I look at this card and I think about Authortube, what I'm really thinking is that we're all short-tempered. We just went through Nano, we just got over stress giving, we're moving into stress miss. So I think that there's a lot, it's too easy for us to kind of snap and lash out at people when we feel emotionally drained like this. So there's a message I'm getting here about be aware of your behavior, be aware of how you're treating others, and if it's not the way that you want, or not the way that you typically would do it, then don't do it. Distance yourself, recollect, and then, join everybody else. Now, the second card is where I start getting mixed signals, because the theme of the month is actually the Three of Cups, which is actually a very jolly card. It's about festivities, it's about getting together, it's about having a good time, all that jazz. But the reason that I get mixed signals is because right after this card, we get the key goal of the month, which is the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is a bittersweet card because it's about walking away from what you have. This card doesn't represent what I'm talking about very well, but normally in most decks, what you're going to have is an individual walking away from 8 cups that he's collected over time. He's going on a journey, he's going somewhere, or they are. And the one thing that always sticks out to me is that what they're trying to do is shed their old skin so that way they can evolve into their, their final form. And I feel like with Authortube, we're trying to evolve right now, but in order for us to evolve, we have to let things go. Whether this be opinions is the first word that comes to mind. We have to let go of opinions. Maybe we're trying to let go of expectations. There's something here, and I don't think it's from one particular person. I think it's from maybe a tiny group that's very loud. You guys know how that goes. But yeah, so we're going to try and let that go and move forward. Now, the next card, which is very interesting, are obstacles to overcome. Eight of Wands is high energy card. It's, normally you would see these 8 rods flying through the air. And, it's kind of interesting because it looks like we're trying to fight some kind of energy, and this is where I get mixed up, right? This is where I'm getting a little mixed up when I see this, because I think what we're trying to do within Authortube is we're trying to not give ourselves too much to do. We've got a lot of high energy, we feel really good after Nano, or whatever it was that we decided to do in November, and we're ready to move on to the next thing. I think we're ready to leave 2020, let's face it. And we're ready to charge into 2021, hoping that it will be a better year. Jury's out, I'll do the reading for that after this. But the one thing that kind of sticks out to me the most is actually going to be this Five of Swords card. Now, I love Revelations, but this depiction of this card is not on track at all. The Five of Swords is about winning a conflict. And winning the conflict, when you see it, there's a guy and he's holding like 3 swords and there's 2 swords walking away from them, or I think they're on the ground. It really depends on which deck that you get. But it's definitely about overcoming a victory after some conflict. And it's really, but it's like, again, it kind of goes with the bittersweet of the 8 of Cups. This victory is also bittersweet because sometimes it's hard to tell if we are the person that is the person that won and got the swords, or the person that lost the swords and had to walk away. So I think, I think there's a community split. I mean, I already know that there is one because there's Creatortube or CreateTube. I can't remember what we're calling it. There's a community split. But I think there's another community split coming. And I don't know why. Yeah, that's really sticking out to me. I think there's another community split coming, because there's going to be some kind of conflict. One person's going to win. They're going to take their Cheetos and go next door with the new friends. That's my, yeah. It makes me sad. So then we move on to the what to avoid. And what we have right here is the Six of Cups reversed. That's basically about not deluding yourself with like childhood fantasies and staying stuck in the past. That's a good way to say it. So don't get stuck on the past. This is all following a theme. I'm starting to pick it up now. Don't get stuck in the past about how things used to be and what it looked like then, because that's your nostalgia talking. That's not actually what was going on. So don't do that. Don't get stuck in your thoughts, and don't get stuck in your past. Now, the one thing that the 7th card here, it tells us to embrace is the Hermit. And the Hermit, sometimes people think is like, the person that isolates themselves and doesn't interact with society. But when we're talking about the Hermit in Tarot, we're talking about somebody who does, in fact, isolate themselves, but they do it because they're trying to better themselves. They're doing self-reflection. They're kind of doing an inner calling. They're, kind of analyzing everything. Like, it's almost like a calm before the storm card. So take the time to pull back, recollect your thoughts, don't get drowned in nostalgia, and then move forward. Now, one interesting thing is, so this is kind of where my forehead gets like a little throbby. So where to find support is the Empress in reverse. The Empress is usually seen as a very controlling figure, right? This person, nobody wants to be around this person. They micromanage, they tell everybody what to do, and they're all like, rah, 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 rah. And you never, like, I don't want to say that you never want to be with these people, but they are a little abrasive and they are very hard to get along with. But when I see this card and I think about the fact that this is where to find support, I think it means that you have to go find the person that was painted wrong. It's really easy for you to take an Empress and paint her out to be a bad guy, especially when you're talking about a group of people that are inverted queens of water, right? And so maybe the place to find support is the person that most people actually think is the bad guy, if that makes any sense. So that's really interesting. I like that. I actually like that notion a lot. Usually when I see the Empress in reverse, I'm like, but in this reading, it's kind of like whoever you thought was the bad guy, that's probably actually your ally, and you need to reach out to them. So take that for what it's worth. Now, the next card, let me pull it over here. This last card is a little, this is your advice and encouragement card, and it is the Seven of Swords. True story, I do not like the Seven of Swords very much because the Seven of Swords represents theft. It can be a theft of your person, it can be a theft of your emotions, it can be a theft of your intellectual property. One thing that I will say, though, is that in one of my other cards that I really do like the depiction of is that it's talking about planning your exit strategy. It's talking about finding your way out. Like, you kind of have to sneak your way out. That's kind of weird. Oh my goodness. So we're looking at a split, and we're looking at people wanting to leave, and we're looking at some crazy stuff going on. Oh man. Okay. So, things happen, and that's just what life is. I said I had a really good feeling about this reading, and now I'm kind of like, yeah, things are terrible. It just sounds like my first reading. So let's go ahead and flip over the hidden card and see what that says. Alright, well, if that wasn't mixed signals, I don't know what else is. Okay, so here's the thing with the Ten of Pentacles. This is the Happy Life card, right? The big difference between the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles is that this is about leaving a legacy. And I think what we saw here in the reading that I just did is that people are wanting to go somewhere where they can have a legacy, where they can be remembered, where they can feel like they're contributing to people that are going to come after them. It's not so much about me, and look at me, and focus on me. We're looking at, I think part of the community split is actually people wanting to actually give to the community and to provide to the community versus doing constant self-promotion. That's my first thought. Which is kind of interesting given that, you know, the Pentacles represent money and stuff like that, but that's what I'm really getting from all of this. I don't want there to be a split. Can we, like, not have a split? But yeah, I think people are tired of the snake oil gambit. I've seen plenty of individuals on Authortube try to make themselves out to be what they're not. There's a lot of lies that have been coming to the light this year. You know, like people who say that they're literary agents and they're not actually literary agents, or people who say that they're bestsellers but they're not actually bestsellers, and all that jazz. And it really does destroy the credibility of not just that person, but for the community in general. And so part of what we're trying to move for is to have that credibility, to have stability, and to show that we're not snake oil salesmen. And I feel that. I feel that a lot, actually. And, you know, I can't argue. I really can't. Because the thing that I think a lot of people don't really understand is that their actions, when they take them and they're being shady and sneaky and all that other stuff, is that it doesn't just affect that one person. It affects everyone else that's in the picture. You know, if one Authortuber comes out and they do a scam, it makes everybody else look bad despite what they think that their preferences are. Can we change that person's actions? No, but we still suffer the consequences of it. So I think if this is a split that I see coming, then it's going to be for integrity reasons. It's going to be for honor system. It's going to be because people want to be better than what's being represented. And I honestly can get 110% behind that. So I'm a nosy fuck, and I have a sneaking suspicion that this is actually an event that's going to happen. And I would like to find out, cards of mine, if I could get some more insight on the instigating individual or the situation that might arise, or if it has arisen. So basically I'm looking for the trigger of this would-be split, like what's going on, how's it happening, all that stuff. So my cards need to be cleaned. Let's take a look. Betrayal. Oh, that's wonderful. Lovers in verse. That's not, oh my god. And hardworking. Huh. Okay. So, alright, so let me pull a fifth card, because I usually pull, did I pull the bottom card? I totally pulled the bottom card. So, let's pull a fifth card. I'll leave that bottom card right there. Okay, so we're looking at betrayal, we're looking at an obsessed union. Somebody got hurt, they joined, wow, this is like a drama, like this stuff needs to go on TV, yo. Betrayal, obsessive union, hard work, inspiring leader, and then leaping without thinking. Oh, wow. So this is actually not gonna pan out very well if that's true. Ooh, gossip. Well, it's not inverted, so it's not gossip. So I don't think this is going to happen in the forefront. I don't think it's going to happen where we can see it. It's going to be like a closed door spat between some individuals. But somebody got hurt. Somebody got hurt really, really bad. And it was with somebody that they had an infatuation with. Maybe it was a fangirl looking up to another YouTuber. Maybe it was something else. I don't know. But they got hurt really bad, or they may get hurt really bad. And then they're going to go and try and be the figure to make this happen, and they're going to feel really alone because they haven't thought it out all the way. So the Knight of Pentacles is about thinking before leaping, and then if you don't actually think before you leap, you run into a lot of obstacles. Obstacles happen though. That's not uncommon, especially if you're doing something that you've never done before. I wouldn't let the new thing that you're struggling with stop you. I mean, if we could do it perfect the first time, then, you know, why would we try and do it, you know? So, I feel really bad for this person. I feel like it's a girl. Yeah, poor sis. But the one positive thing I will say about this hidden card that I pulled is that the Page of Swords is a good intelligence card. It's got a lot of energy and it's got a lot of intellect. So even though they may stumble and still dwell on what happened over here, this is still a good direction for them to move in. So, I'm sorry you gotta go through all that though. That's really rough. Alright, so there you go. Christmas will be filled with delicious drama. Somebody will leave somebody else, and we may have an identity complex later again. So, you know, that's always what we want. But that's going to be my reading for Authortube for the month of December. Again, the way that I interpret these cards is not the only way. If you saw a meaning and you think that that's going to actually stand out a little bit more, feel free to leave a comment down below. I would absolutely love to hear what your interpretation of the reading is. And if you think I'm totally wrong on a reading or any way that I define the card, again, feel free to correct me. I am not above hearing some reprimand from people who've been doing it for longer than me. But that's going to be this video. Let me know if you guys would like me to do more readings in different ways or just readings in general. Leave me some feedback there because I am wanting to do more tarot videos here on top of the writing videos since I do love tarot and I like talking about it and all that stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Be on the lookout for the 2021 reading that's coming to a TV screen near you, hopefully. And I will talk to y'all again real soon. Bye.